The Bears are trading for Steelers receiver Chase Claypool per source. What do you make of that?
Oh, boy.
Well, I want to know what the compensation is coming back. Is it at least a second-round pick?
Don't know yet.
That's. I mean, if it's a fourth-round pick, I don't like it. A second-round pick, I'm okay with it. I mean, you gotta get something good back. You know, they're only going to pay one wide receiver, and they made their decision to pay Deontay for what? It's only 3 years, though, and then you're going to have to pay Pickens. So
why couldn't you pay 2 if you don't have to pay your quarterback?
Well, eventually you're going to have to pay it. Well, unless Pickett doesn't turn out to be good, you hope you're going to have to pay your quarterback in a couple years.
The Bears are confusing me at the moment.
They trade. Yeah. Why do you trade Roquan Smith?
Right
now, but you get capital from Baltimore in draft choices, so I guess you can send those to Pittsburgh. So you're basically, to me, it looks like you're trading Roquan Smith to, for Chase Claypool.
That's the trade I wanted in the preseason.
That is the one.
Roquan Smith for Chase Claypool. Only the Steelers don't come up with Roquan Smith here, and they're out Claypool.
Here's Schefter, comp update. Bears traded a second-round pick for wide receiver Chase Claypool, per source.
There you go, Ron. A second-round pick for Chase Claypool. You like the deal?
I'm okay with it, yeah.
Folsey, you like it?
I'm okay with it. I just checked Field Yates again. That does have a check mark.
I'm hesitant because, like we've talked about so many times when this has been brought up, that you're taking away a weapon from Kenny Pickett as he's developing and growing here. But the compensation, I like. You're getting back what you spent on him. And I guess that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, I don't like it. I want to develop my rookie quarterback with all his weapons. Do you realize we will never have seen Kenny Pickett with all his weapons? Not one time, as they were designed to be this season. Of course, he wasn't really designed to be this season, but it would have been Pickens, Deontay, Claypool, Calvin Austin,
and Freiermuth,
who's the fastest of all of them, Freiermuth, Najee out of the backfield theoretically, and did I mention Claypool?
Yeah, you did.
We'll never see it. I like Chase Claypool. Look what he did for them 2 games ago.
Yeah, and look at, he ran hard the other day. He had the longest catch, 25 yards, and fought for about 15 of them. Refused to go down. He also threw the only touchdown pass they had.
The best pass of the day.
The best pass of the day. Where did you see the second-round pick?
Schefter.
Just a second round.
Yep. And Pelissero now from NFL Network saying they're trading a 2023 second-round pick to the Steelers for Chase Claypool.
So it'll probably be in the middle of the second round, maybe a little higher than that, maybe a little higher, probably a little higher. The Bears are 3-5. What if the Bears fall apart? That would be a good thing.
That would be nice.
But as of now, I like Chase Claypool. I wanted him and Pickens to work it out together. I think he's a major weapon and a major talent when he's used properly, Ron. I do.
He frustrates you because he has so much talent, you expect him to be better. But he does. He's big. He's fast. He's strong. But, he goes down so easily, when he's fighting for a combat catch. I just said he broke tackles left and right the other day. But I would describe him as overall his time here is a little bit disappointing.
Because of him or the offense and the quarterbacks?
Maybe both of them. Maybe all of that.
It's hard for me to call a second-round pick who had 150 catches, 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns over 3 years disappointing. Maybe compared to what we saw his rookie year.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because you remember, we couldn't understand. He was like the 12th wide receiver picked that year. And everybody said, well, how could the Steelers get him? That's great scouting on their part. What's the matter with him that all these other teams passed on him? And then that rookie year, he was tremendous.
And here's the thing.
But he never really got better.
Well,
who's
thriving in this offense right now?
Ben last year throwing to him.
And he actually had more yards from scrimmage last year than in his rookie year.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like the year before, maybe. I don't know. They said all along they were going to have to get what they gave up to get him, and it was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
So
I vote. I don't like it. I suppose I could like it more if the Bears completely fell apart and it became almost like the 36th pick of the draft. I could like it better. I could. How about you,
I don't think
Folsey?
they're going
Do
to
you
fall.
like it?
I don't think they're going to fall apart like that, though. Although trading Roquan Smith, why?
I mean,
I guess they decided they couldn't sign him. That's why they traded him.
they'll certainly finish in the bottom 10, don't you think?
What's their record now?
3-5.
There's a lot of 2 and 6s out there.
Yeah, but that's only a game apart.
I think they'll win like 6 games this year, which
And
probably
10, 12, somewhere
right
around
puts them
there.
in 12 range. I still don't like the idea of getting rid of Chase Claypool again because he's a target. He's a weapon that Kenny Pickett could use. But if you're gonna get rid of him, I wanted at least a 2nd-round pick for him, and I think that's more than fair compensation considering the up and down career he's had to this point.
So who does this open the door for? Boykin, Sims, not Gunner.
And our boy Gunner.
Not Gunner.
I think you got to draft. I mean, in some
well,
ways.
I'm talking about right now
Yeah.
for the rest of the year.
Oh, my God. Not Gunner. We're not going to see Gunner.
No, we're not.
So Claypool was the 12th receiver taken in the 20 draft, correct?
I think it was 12.
He's 7th in yards with 2,000. He's
Among that group?
Among that group. He's 8th in touchdowns. Wait, let me see where he is in
Now,
touchdowns.
is this all on Pro Football Reference?
Yeah, at the tip of my fingers.
What do
Ron.
you type in to find that?
I'm going to have to give you a tutorial after school.
I'm curious.
7th in catches, 7th in yards. I mean, I think it was a good draft pick. Plus, they have now recouped that draft pick, probably, definitely in a better position. They've upgraded the draft pick. They made the 49th pick. They absolutely are going to be making a pick higher than that.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think so.
And
I
they've
think he
had
was a good pick.
They've had a pretty good track record of finding wide receivers.
There's nobody thriving in this offense. Not the first-round running back, not the first-round quarterback, not George Pickens, not Deontay Johnson.
None.
Nobody.
That's why they're the worst scoring team in the league.
So I
You know what,
can't judge Claypool based on what he's doing in this offense. It's totally
you're
unfair.
Right. You're right, and he could go somewhere else, maybe not Chicago.
I think
don't
he's
know
gonna
if
be
he's
really-
set up to
I-
fail. He's
No.
probably set up to fail in Chicago. I think.
Probably. I think in the right offense, he'll put up
I
big
agree.
numbers.
I agree with that.
I do.
He could still have a really good career. I just wonder how much of a squeaky wheel he might have been behind closed doors.
Wonder if he's going to say like Juju, I went to Kansas City and learned more about offense here in a month than I did
He probably
my whole
will.
career in Pittsburgh.
Do you
Claypool
think
didn't talk after the game. He was approached. I was standing there and he goes, not today, guys. You know, I don't think he knew, but
I just wanted to see Pickett with all his weapons. That's all. Your thoughts on the trade? 412-928-9370. Chase Claypool to the Chicago Bears for apparently a 2nd-round pick, according to Adam
the
Schefter.
monsters of the Midway.
How about that? So the only guys better than him, Ron, Justin Jefferson, C.D. Lamb, T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, and Darnell Mooney for the Bears, as a matter of fact. So it gives Justin Fields another weapon. I'll say that. It does give him another weapon.
It does.
But they took away from their defense in a big way. You're right, Ron. They just took the pick they got for Roquan and sent it to the Steelers,
right?
Basically.
Pretty much.
That's the trade I talked about, Folsey. Only the Steelers don't wind up with Roquan Smith.
I know.
They wind up with nothing but a 2nd-round pick.
I remember when you
can't-
wrote that column.
They should have done that.
Why don't you get on the horn with Andy Weidel?
Andy Weidel. Folsey, you get the final word. on
I'm
this
still
thing.
in a little bit of disbelief that this is even happening. You know, I thought this was kind of I don't know, a media or fan creation for the most part. Like they weren't actually going to trade Chase Claypool at the deadline, but
They got
Here-
what they used to get him. As Joe
Even
pointed
better.
out, they're in a better spot, and they're not going to have to pay Claypool down the road.
and it's at least a slight realization of they know where they are. They know where they stand.
Where do they stand?
That it's not about this season. That they're 2-6 and they've got to start moving some guys around here, right? If they can get compensation for a guy like Chase Claypool, a 2nd-round pick, then you do it. You stop
But
trying
he's
to
already
win the games
he's
right
already
now.
a really good talent who's put up some numbers. Why wouldn't you want that with your rookie quarterback? Why? See, You take away Claypool, you keep Matt Canna, and what are you doing to this kid? And like Cowher said, you're dropping him back 100 times. What are they doing to him?
Yeah. For this season, it's going to be rough with Matt Canada at the helm. There's no doubt. And I'm still not even in agreement that they should have made this deal.
Here's some recent. I'll go over this next.
Yeah, we got a break here.
Thank you, Ron. Got some bad news for you, Ron. Albert Breer, the 23 second rounder the Bears are sending to Pittsburgh, is the one they acquired from Baltimore.
So that'll be a lower pick.
Significantly. You could be talking Claypool. Claypool was taken with the the 47th or 49th pick. You're probably looking
in the 50s
or 60s,
depending on how they end up.
50s, late 50s.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
More motivation to root against the Ravens the rest of the year.
That's a huge difference. If the Bears wind up, they could wind up a bottom 6-7 team in the league.
Like the Steelers.
So the Bears make out, as Breer says, the Bears send the Baltimore second rounder. So they get Claypool for 1.5 years, for Smith a half a year, and a 5th round pick, and Chicago still has its second rounder. This is unbelievable, Ron. I thought they were going to trade Claypool for Roquan Smith before the season.
You advocated.
That's what they should have done. Instead, they wound up with a low second round pick. This sucks, Ron. Do you like the deal?
You know what? I don't like it. I don't hate it though. I mean, they're going to have to make a decision about paying him at some point after this season. Remember, this was where Deontay was before this season, and I don't think they want to pay him. They know.
Let me ask you guys a
they're
question.
Have to pay Pickens down the road.
Let me ask you guys. I don't think that they would have had to have paid Claypool as much as Johnson because he hasn't been as productive. Would you have rather the Steelers? Folsey, I want you in on this. Stop talking to Donnie Football. Tell him to get out of the room right now.
Get out of the room, Donnie. And Pony.
Would you rather have had the Steelers trade Deontay Johnson or Chase Claypool? My choice would have been Deontay and get that $17 million. I don't care if it was market value or not. It's $17 million. Get that out of here with his no touchdowns and lack of production and anything else. I would rather have traded him.
That's a pretty good
point. He's only signed for 3 years, though.
But it's the money.
I know, but for a wide receiver, it's relatively cheap. He's not on A.J. Brown's level. But A.J. Brown got a $100 million deal.
So what are you saying?
I'm just saying that they only have 2 more years of Deontay at a not ridiculous price. If I thought
it's not ridiculous compared to other wide receivers. It's a large chunk of your salary cap on that guy.
It
is.
His
0 touchdowns.
Well, is that his fault, the coordinator or the quarterback, or all three?
Why can't we ask that about Claypool?
Well, you can.
I would have rather traded Johnson and kept Claypool myself. You guys?
Then you have 2 very similar receivers in Pickens and Claypool, bigger guys going down the field, deeper threats. That's the only thing with that. But I mean, you can't argue with the production has not been worth the money from Deontay Johnson this year. It just hasn't.
But is that the quarterback? Is that?
Were you happy with Deontay last year?
I was happier with him last year than I was Claypool last year. I didn't like Claypool at all last year. But yet I was the guy that predicted huge things for him before the start of this year. And he showed it in 1 game, right?
I don't know. Deontay's had chances to make plays regardless of who the quarterback is, and he's not making them. And $17 million is a gigantic chunk of change. I would have rather have traded him. Good night, Ron.
Let's talk about it a little bit more tomorrow.
Hold on a second here. Hold on a second.
What happened now? They traded Mason?
No.
They traded Trubisky?
We're getting conflicting reports.
What now?
You're welcome, Joe. I came running in here.
Ian Rappaport is tweeting out that the Steelers are receiving the Bears' original second-round pick.
You know what? Whenever these things happen,
not the Ravens.
These guys
then
try
call
to
up Albert Breer and tell him he's full of crap.
They try to be first.
Every time this thing...
They want to be first, and they don't care about being right.
That's
right. They want to be first.
That's exactly right.
Joe,
Ron.
let's argue about this tomorrow morning at 10. What do you think?
I think that makes it makes the difference
detail.
in whether you like this trade or not.
A huge detail.
We'll be looking at 20 slots in the draft.
You're right.
Be sure to thank Donnie Football
Hit
for
him
me.
good. Hit him
Thank you,
good,
Donnie.
Joe. Hit him good this afternoon,
Thank
will you?
Mr. Hester.
Good night. Thank you, Mr. Hester.
See ya.
Good night, Ron.